Okay, now that we're back at the machine, this is the top part of my garment. This is where the zipper is going to be placed, and here's my notch. So here's my zipper. This zipper has a stop at the bottom and at the top. On all zippers, the distance between the zipper head and the edge of the zipper tape may vary. Sometimes it's 5/8 and it can be up to 7/8 depending on the brand. We're going to place the zipper down. Remember, this is the outside of the garment. So we're going to place the zipper down, and we want to place it so that the zipper tape ends where the muslin ends. Now, depending on what's going to be joining this waistband, where you would need 1/2 inch seam allowance, or it might be a facing where you would need 1/4 inch seam allowance, you would move this appropriately. What you don't want to do is set this so the zipper head is at the edge of the fabric, because when you have that joining seam, you cannot sew across the zipper head. So you have to have some kind of spacing there. I'm going to place this here. We're going to put in a couple of pins. I'm pinning all the way through to the face of the muslin. So I've placed the zipper down, so the center of the zipper is right where this seam is. And we're going to pin it in place. The next thing I'm going to do is I've already threaded a needle. I'm going to baste this zipper by hand so that when I am doing my top stitch, I can leave the basting stitch in, and when the zipper is completely done, I can take the basting stitch out. It's hard to work with pins when you're doing this zipper, so I prefer to do the basting stitch. So basically what I've done is I've threaded this needle. You only need single ply thread, and we're just going to baste this into place. I'm using a bright color so it's easy to take out. And I'm just going to use some big stitches. We're going to go all the way around. We're going to do both sides just to make sure that the zipper is secure and that it does not move while we're doing the top stitch. So I'm just going to go here, and then I'm going to come across. And I'm going to come back down the other side. Once this is done, I'm able to take out the pins and continue working. There are lots of different techniques to do a railroad zipper, but I find that this one works very nicely. The basting stitch is an extra step, but it works out very well. And if you don't have a needle and thread, you can just use pins. Okay, once that's done, I'm going to move my needle out of the way. I can take my pins out. I can clip this thread, it's a little bit too long. So this is what it looks like basted in. It's right on top of my seam allowance, and this is the correct side. In order to do the top stitching on this zipper, I'm going to use a 1/2 foot. It doesn't matter if you use the left side or the right side. I am going to change the foot on my machine.